All right, guys. Let me know when you can hear me, and then we will get started. I think it's like 15 seconds. All right, guys. Can you hear me okay now? Yep, you can hear me. Okay, perfect. All right. I have to wait because I know that they throw a commercial on you guys in the very beginning, and I don't want to be just starting talking and nobody hearing me. So, all right. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about the aftermath of Hurricane Delta, the effects on the region, especially in Louisiana, where it literally hit 12 miles in from one spot to the next where it came ashore, which is nuts. Um, but anyway, uh, I want to remind everybody if we have any difficulties with the channel tonight, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. You may have to sign all the way out and then come back in. Just go back to my channel and you'll be able to find the stream again. You may not get a notification. So I'm just putting that out there ahead of time just in case. Hopefully we'll have a good stream and have no issues and we'll be able to get everything done. So let's hope so. All right. So also I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So I would ask you to please be kind in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Just be decent with each other. If you are not, if you decide you want to be a jerk, the awesome moderators that you see lit up in blue, they will give you the boot. Okay? So just putting that out there ahead of time. All right. So let's get into this. Like I said, the second hurricane, which was a Category 2, Delta, Laura hit Louisiana 6 weeks ago. So let's put this into perspective for a second. So 6 weeks ago, Louisiana gets hit with a Category 4. Stop! Hey! Stop scratching. Come here. Good girl. Yes, you can't see her, but Pandora is down here saying hello. So 6 weeks ago, Hurricane Laura hit, and it was a Category 4. Okay. Lots of damage. It was a smaller hurricane than Hurricane Delta. Delta was a much larger hurricane, but it was obviously Category 2. But let's go back. So 6 weeks ago, they get hit with this hurricane. $10 billion worth of damage in the region. All right. So let's kind of put this, we're going to put this into perspective because here's the way I look at it. And it's like, as an outsider looking in, I don't, I'm not there day to day. I'm not seeing what's happening and stuff like that. But when you look at it through the perspective of people that are dealing with it, it makes a lot more sense of the hardship that people are going through. Now, you're talking about a region of the country that generally stays warm, obviously, right? So you're dealing with heat issues. If they can't turn on their air conditioner because they have no power, that's a huge issue. So they have the first hurricane hit. So now the people are starting to rebuild because that's what you do. You start rebuilding everything. You get things going again. You're not thinking that you're going to get hit 6 weeks later with a second hurricane. So it's like a 1-2 whammy to the people in that region. Some of the people literally were without power for a month from the first storm. Now, fortunately, the infrastructure was not hit as hard in this one as it was in the last storm, but close to 700,000 people were without power right after the storm. The next day on Saturday, there was still about 600,000 people as of noon that were still without power. As of today, that's down to about 300,000 people are still without power in that region. Let's see. Oh, John, Delilah says three eggs, one cat quake. That's funny. Actually, tonight I got one cat, Bella. She's in the same exact spot that you guys saw her earlier. She is out. She is doing nothing. So the other cats are in and out. I don't know where everybody else is, but yeah, that's anyway. So a lot of people are being affected. Like I said, literally some of the people had just had their power on for the last 2 weeks, and now you get hit again with another hurricane, and your power gets knocked out again. I wanted to talk about a couple things which I thought was really, really interesting. So they're estimating, and I like, how do you figure this out? So you have the storm damage from the first hurricane 6 weeks ago. Second hurricane comes in, and now you got more damage. How do you ascertain how much more damage is done to something that's already damaged, right? But they're saying about $2 billion in losses. insurance-wise from Delta. They were talking $10 billion from the first Hurricane Laura that hit, okay? But they had, officials had 1.5 million meals ready, 1.5 million bottles of water, 32,000 tarps, and 48,000 bags of ice ready for distribution. So why is the ice so important? If you can't keep your stuff cold, then things go bad and you're going to lose a lot of other stuff, you know. So that's a lot of ice, obviously. But when you're talking about the number of people without power, it makes a lot of sense. Now, I was reading that there was a gentleman that had gone in, assessed his damage, see how much more damage that he had on his property, packed up, and then went back to the relatives because they still had no power. Unfortunately, there was one death attributed to the storm. It was a gentleman who was 86 years old that was refueling a generator and caught on fire, and he was killed, unfortunately. But, you know, these, and I want you to think about that. And these are one of those kind of like really kind of moments for me. You have a gentleman that has lived 86 years, and all he's doing is probably something that he's done hundreds upon hundreds of other times, refilling a generator, okay? And this particular time, he messes up, catches on fire, and he ends up dying. Really sad, really sad. You know, what a horrible way to go. But so anyway, they said that water-wise, they had 1.5 million bottles of water to distribute to people as well. But again, the number one problem after a hurricane, the water's all contaminated with all kinds of crap, right? What is the number one thing that you're going to need to have? You're going to need to have potable water. So again, it's another great reason to have ways to purify water. Even that's, you know, nasty water, you can take that water and you can purify it if you have to. And then you have drinkable water. That should be everybody out there, everybody out here, their number one priority is making sure you have a way to purify water. Because I'm telling you right now, in a worst case event, the number one way that people are going to perish is because they're going to get dysentery from drinking bad water, and they're literally going to die of diarrhea because their fluids are going to get pushed out of their body. There's no way they're going to be able to keep anything down. And if you continue to drink tainted water, you're not going to ever get any better from that. And you have no way to reintroduce the electrolytes that you need into your system. That's why I like to have in my preps, honestly, Gatorade. Gatorade is a great thing. I always have, I keep a couple of cases of Gatorade around just as another backup. And I rotate them. So I drink Gatorade quite a bit, especially if I'm out in the yard and banging around doing stuff. I like to have Gatorade because you get sweating and you get doing stuff. You really need to replenish, the electrolytes in your system. And Gatorade is a great way to do that. But I'm not getting paid by Gatorade. I'm just telling you, I like Gatorade. I think it's good. There's no anything for me to say that. There's no incentive like, oh, please use this product and blah blah blah. No, I just like Gatorade. So yeah, Jim Beam will do it too. Yeah, but again, you have to be careful. You got to make sure that you're able to have water. That's going to be number one. Obviously, after water is going to be food, and then you're looking at shelter. You don't want to be sitting out in the sun trying to deal with that type of situation with no way to have power and stuff like that. Now, obviously, they're talking the power outages is not going to be as long this time, but let's think about two guys, and I want you to think about this. Let's talk about the linemen once again. These guys are busting their humps. They were just down there restoring power to people in that area, and now you have another storm come in, and now you got to have these guys come back again. These are things that happen. Again, where you choose to live is where you choose to live. Nobody expects back-to-back hurricanes to hit within 12 miles on landfall. And then, of course, it turned and went right into Lake Charles again, where we got a lot of our refineries and stuff like that, for the oil and stuff like that. So obviously, that's going to take a hit, which is going to jump the prices of gasoline up once again. I mean, it's just like it's a never-ending cycle. With that type of stuff. Obviously, this year, the hurricane season has been much more active than in previous years. So that makes a difference as well. So I'm going to try to drink some of this now because I think this has cooled off. I actually got a fire going this evening because I started getting a little chilly. Not bad now. It was literally boiling when I poured it into the cup about 10 minutes ago. And I'm like, I might have to wait on that. But have a little tea. Like my tea. But like this morning, I woke up and it was cool this morning. And I was like, I'm not going to get a fire going because I got working. And then I was sweating and I had the door open. And, it felt great. But, as it got towards evening and the sun went down, I was like, time to get a little fire going. So I'll get the fire, takes the chill off the house. That's the type of time of year it is for us here. We just take that chill off the house and then we're good to go. But let's get back to talking about this a little bit more. I wanted to talk about this. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say there's 23 hospitals right now that we're running on solar power. And this is as of Saturday. Two of the hospitals in the Lake Charles region did not have running water. And there was almost 24 nursing homes also running on generator power. So I want you to think about that. Put that in perspective. Worst case scenario happens. Let's say we have a grid down type of situation where it's going to be down for a good long time. Those hospitals, those nursing homes out there are only going to be able to run so long on generator power. And then when there's no more gasoline, do you flavor your tea? I put AR, thank you for the question. I actually put honey. I like to put honey in my tea. So I love honey. And so I always use just regular tea and then just honey. So that's what my flavor that I like to do. And it's funny because it's like all summer long, I won't drink tea at all because it's hot and it's, and stuff like that. And I'm talking hot tea, not sweet tea. But then as soon as it starts getting colder, I'm back to drinking my hot tea again. So it's just, like I said, it's what I prefer. But what do we got? 730 people in the chat, guys. We're at 227 on the thumbs up. I would ask you if you would shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. And I would appreciate that. It also really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better. And so thank you for that as well. I do appreciate that. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I'm not going to lie. That's another honest part of it. Like to see that interaction. And it's just kind of cool. I think it's fun. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Also, I would ask you to hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. So I wanted to kind of make a little bit of an announcement as well. My moderators, all my moderators that I see you guys are in the chat tonight. I need you to send your addresses to PrepperNurse1Media@gmail.com. Okay. And the reason I need you guys to do that because the Judith for the hold on, and I will show that real quick so that you guys can see. Judith would like to send all of my moderators one of these awesome Gators that we gave away in the last stream. Okay, so I'm going to need your guys' shipping information so that Judith can send these out to you. So thank you very much, Judith, for doing that. That is awesome of you, and I do appreciate that. Very nice for the moderators. I appreciate you thinking of them because they, like I said, they do a fantastic job. Now, real quickly, if you would like to get a Gator, a PrepperNurse 1 Gator with We Are Legion on the bottom of it, okay, what you need to do is you need to go to 4-20, so it's a number 4, dash, and then 20 spelled out, .square.site, okay, and you can pick up pick up a Gator for yourself if you're interested. Again, and part of the proceeds does come back to me to help with what we're doing here on the homestead. Okay, so again, Judith, thank you for thinking of my moderators. I think that's awesome. So again, moderators, you need to shoot an email over to PrepperNurse1Media@gmail.com with your shipping info, and Judith will get those out to you. So thank you, Judith. And again, thank you, moderators. You guys do an absolutely awesome job. And now we can look like clones. Well, thanks. That exactly. You can wear that and you'd be like, look, I'm PrepperNurse 1. So, all right. So anyway, getting back to everything. So again, if you would like to get a Gator, that's where you go to get it. Okay. And I will put the link down in the description below again, for everybody after the stream is over with, so that you guys can see that there. Okay. Really quickly before we continue on, and I want to talk about other stuff. Obviously, I want to talk about a couple things really quickly. We started PrepperNurse 1 Twitter, so please go over to Twitter, PrepperNurse 1. Subscribe to the Twitter channel. Also on Instagram, because what I'm going to end up doing, like with the Instagram, PrepperNurse 1, obviously on Instagram, I'm going to like take pictures of the different stuff that I'm doing like day to day, and I'm going to get into that habit, and then I'm going to be posting those over on Instagram. So it's just a little different view of things to see. So definitely go over. It's a gator, not a gator. I didn't say it was a gator. It's a gator. Oh, that's funny. Heidi12 just said that. That's funny. But anyway, but yeah, so definitely sign up for both of those if you would, please. Again, we've gotten quite a few submissions on ideas for t-shirts, all that type of stuff. And again, if you, and thank you everybody that has submitted different ideas. I appreciate that. Again, at PrepperNurse1media@gmail.com. Hopefully within another week or so, we will have merchandise back available, okay? And that's going to be through Teesprings, and all that will be connected with the website, and we'll get that all squared away. And so if you would like to buy some merch when we get it set up, we will let you know. But that's going to be happening soon. So if you had any ideas, you want to submit an idea, that's where you send it to. You send it to, and I'll do it one more time here. You're going to send it to PrepperNurse1media@gmail.com, okay? So then the last thing I want to talk about, and then we're just going to, that way the rest of the chat here tonight can be just about whatever we decide to chat about. I want to talk about my website really quickly, PrepperNurse1.com. We have the PrepperNurse 1 community on PrepperNurse1.com. It is a great resource for you guys to take advantage, to connect with like-minded people. If you want to just go in and read the message boards, whatever you want to do, find somebody in your state or in your country to connect with, talk with, whatever you're trying to do. It's a great resource that we set up for you guys. Again, PrepperNurse1.com, and it's a PrepperNurse 1 community. Free to register, does not cost anything, totally free for you guys, but you do have to register. No credit card information is asked, okay? Also on my website, we have jdega.com, which is the CBD and hemp store. And they have the CBD products, has a lot of help. It helps with a lot of different things, and I've talked about them several times, but it can help with a lot of different things. It's a good thing to have in case of SHTF as well. Everything from pets to, helping with the different, GERD and everything else. There's all kinds of, there's a whole list, laundry list of stuff that it does help with, okay? Not saying it's a cure. It does help with it, though. So if you are interested, the link for that is below. Also on the website, you will see the jdega.com. It goes through. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, the number 1, okay? You'll save yourself 15% on your purchase when you're checking out. So definitely take advantage of that as well. Also on my website, we have the Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods. Take advantage of that as well. I will be doing a sale here within a couple of weeks, and so I will let you know when that is going to be happening. So you're probably going to say, well, I'll just wait till he does the sale, which would be smart. I will be doing a 20% off sale probably in a couple of weeks. I will let you guys know all that information, but if you can't wait, you go on store, you click on store, it drops down, it says Legacy Foods. It's there for you. Whatever we have available is there. So definitely take advantage of that as well. Okay, so now we can just talk the rest of the night. All the business is taken care of. I did want to mention one other thing really quickly. My buddy Reese, who you guys have heard me talk about many, many times, he has joined the PrepperNurse 1 team, and he's going to be helping out. He's watching, obviously he's going to be watching Twitter and Instagram and those type of things. And he's going to be dealing with PrepperNurse 1 media and all that type of stuff as well. So just another helping hands behind the scenes. But I wanted to thank him for that as well. I do appreciate that. And he's, like I said, he's one of my brothers. So that's just how it is. And we're doing really good. The channel's doing good. It's growing really nicely. And again, it's because of you guys. So I want to thank all of you we've had a nice increase of subscribers. it's been really, really growing very nicely. So that is awesome, and I appreciate that as well. So thank you very much. Well, the one video that I did on the 10 things that people are barting for in Venezuela, that video is up to 116,000 views. So that's pretty wild. Haven't had one hit 100,000 views in quite a while. So that's pretty cool. So thank you everybody that watched that video. And if you continue to watch, thank you again. So what do we got? Some questions here. Prepper watched your live earlier. Glad you are okay. Oh, I just missed something. I don't. Oh, I know who that was. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's go. That is Southern Boy. Yep, Southern Boy Prepper. Yeah, he's down there in that Louisiana area, and he's been dealing with a lot of stuff down there as well. Had I followed you first on Twitter, what do I win? There you go, Connie. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. Autograph picture. I don't even, I wouldn't even know what I would almost be embarrassed to have an autograph picture. I think that's kind of, I don't know. It's like so egotistical. I don't know. I don't know. Ed, have you thought about getting ducks? No, Lloyd, I have not thought about getting ducks. Ducks crap everywhere. Not interested in that. They're really, ducks are really messy. And when I get the pond in here, I don't want the ducks in there just crapping it all up. I really don't. John, Delilah says hi to Heather, Mom, and the gang. Well, thank you very much, John, and tell Delilah we said the same hi right back. Good fertilizer. Well, I'll tell you what, I would rather get, if the best fertilizer you're going to get, it's going to be from rabbits. Rabbits is, Ed, shooting in Denver over political issues. I did see that. Unfortunately, one person died. Another person was arrested. Just such a shame. So stupid. Killing some. See, let's think about the mentality and the rationality of this. To kill somebody because they have a different political viewpoint as you. That's insane. That is absolutely, it's a definition of insanity to me. To hate somebody that much, that's insane. I'm going to tell you what, I may disagree with people's thoughts on things, but it doesn't mean that we can't be friends, that we can't still talk. We just have to, a lot of times you have to agree not to talk about politics, because especially if you have somebody who's very galvanized in one view, and then somebody has a different viewpoint, if they're locked in that hard, they're not going to change their mind. So, why argue with stuff that it doesn't make it? And who at the end of the day, realistically, what difference does it make? At the end of the day, believe whatever you want, whatever party you want to follow, whatever candidate you love, great, awesome, do it. It's so sad that just, I really worry for this country. I really do, because unfortunately, so many people are so easily swayed and so easily manipulated. It is unbelievable. And I watch this stuff play out, and I sit back because, I'll tell you what, like I said, I hate politics. Can't stand politics. Don't like politicians, any of them. I think they're all crooked. I think they all have an agenda, which is to watch out for themselves and their friends. Like somebody was like, well, when this guy gets into politics, he gets jobs for all his friends and the people, of course he does. That's what they do. Are you kidding me? You watch out for your friends. Are you going to tell me honestly, any one of you out there, you get some big muckety muck position where you can delegate authority and you can give jobs to people. Okay. You're not going to take care of the people that you give a crap about, family, friends that you like. You're not going to say, hey, Charlie, listen, I know that you're making, $15 an hour over at the factory, but I got this job here where, you can make, $120,000 a year, and basically you're going to push a pencil. Charlie's going to go, oh, that's not, I couldn't possibly do that. Of course, Charlie's going to take that job. But it's so amazing to me that people get so bent out of shape because every freaking politician out there does that. Okay. I guess it must be different when Trump does it, but every politician does it. So it's just, it's very, very sad. I want to get back to talking about Louisiana. I got off track here, which I do have a tendency to do. So let's get back on track about Louisiana. I want people to think about what it takes to coordinate getting 1.5 million meals, 1.5 million bottles of water, 32,000 or 34,000 tarps. Well, I'm going to make sure it's 32,000 tarps and 48,000 bags of ice. Just getting that together, number one, takes a lot of effort. And then distributing it is even more effort. I know the National Guard was called up. I think they called up like 3,000 of the National Guard to make sure people aren't looting, to help, any kind of rescues that needed to be done, and to help distribute food and stuff like that, which I think is absolutely awesome. There's a lot of people that sacrifice a ton to help other people in those situations and in those circumstances. The Cajun Navy would be a good one that comes to mind. Those boys get out there. They're using their own boats. They're using their own gas, and they're out there helping people because why? It's the right thing to do. That I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Anybody that's doing something just because it's the right thing to do. FEMA is absent again. Follower of Jay said, "Are they really? I did not know that. That doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all." That's just perfect right now. That tea's perfect. I'll tell you what, when it's hot like that, it takes a while to cool down. We have flooding bad in northeast Georgia from Delta. Yeah, I knew that there, Rocky Hill. Thank you for sharing that information. I knew that I knew that there's a lot of guys, or a lot of other areas that got hit too, with a lot of rain and stuff like that. I know that Delta was a lot bigger storm than Laura was, but not as powerful. Well, thank goodness. Could you imagine if it had been that big and been a Cat 4? Would have been really, really bad. People helped others more than FEMA or the Red Cross or Salvation Army when an area is flooded. A few years ago, FEMA and RC told us the damage was 5K. 5K, hold on a second. Too low for them to help us. Wow. Scarlet Rose just said that. That's horrible. That's horrible. I'm like, there's a lot of good people that suffer through these things. And then, and when people say, well, then why do they live there? They shouldn't live in that area. They should move someplace else. Well, you know what? If you're born and raised, I was born and raised in the Rochester, New York area. Okay. Born and raised here. I can remember in 10th grade, I had a teacher, and I want to tell this story really quickly. So we had a teacher. His name was Mr. Cox, C-O-X. Great. One of my favorite teachers of all time. Absolutely awesome dude. Awesome dude. And I remember he taught history. And I remember in his class one day, he says, how many of you plan on leaving this area when you get out of high school? And I mean, 3/4 of the people in the room put their hand up. Okay. He said, out of everybody in this room, and there's class size 24, 25 people. He goes, a bunch of you will leave. He goes, but the rest of you will come back and you will settle within a 50-mile radius of right here. He said, you will settle within a 50-mile radius of right here. And I can remember going, oh, no, man, I am out of here. I am gone. And I did. I moved out, went in the military. After I got out of the military, I moved down south. I lived in North Carolina for a year. But I came home. Home is home. So the people that criticize people and say, why don't they just move? That's their home. That's where they grew up. That's where your comfortability level is. New York can suck at times, but there's a lot of beauty in New York. I'm in an area that is absolutely gorgeous. I love my area that I live in. Can't stand my governor, can't stand the taxes or the, gun laws in New York and all this that type of stuff. All that is ridiculous. Okay. But I love this area, and it's home. And that's just the way it is. So the people that are criticizing people, why don't they move and get out of that area? That's their home. That's where they grew up at. That's where their mom and dad grew up at. That's where their grandparents grew up at. How can you tell somebody, well, just go someplace else? That's not how it works. So, I mean, I get that. And that's what I think about when I see those type of things. Some come back and live on the family property. Absolutely. I have a buddy of mine that he grew up in the house. And on one half of the house was their home, and on the other half was the grandmother's. And so, he got married out of high school, and, him and his wife were living in another town. Well, then the grandmother died, And he ended up moving back and living in that other half of the house, and with his wife and his child. And he's still there. Now, his mom is still alive. I just saw her, maybe a month or so ago. She's still living in the other half. So, yeah, a lot of times they come back and they'll live right on their own property. Patty and John. John said, I was born and raised in that house across the street, and I moved 300 yards across the street and built my home. That's what people do. That's home. So, and I get that. I totally understand it. Now, unfortunately, in my family, my mom said we must have gypsy blood in us. I have moved so many times in my life. My last house that I was living in Greece, I was there for 8 years. That is the longest that I lived anywhere in my life. Hey, Full of Hope. I'm compelled to suggest everyone watch the Sunday videos by J.D. Farq. Open your eyes, ears, listen to the ultimate prepper. Essential soul, eternal souls matter. Well, thank you very much for that statement. Thank you for that information. And thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. But we had a houseboat on the Lake Ozarks in the 60s. Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. But, but again, then some people move and they never come back. I have a real good friend of mine, actually the father of my niece, Jeannie. He left. He has lived in California. Now he's in Texas. And he said, I'll never move back. But that's what some people do. Some people get away. They don't, with whatever. Some people, because of trauma or whatever, they want to get away and just forget about it. Okay. But, but like I said, my mom was always like, we were ready for a new adventure. Let's do something different. And then we always did. We moved a lot. Growing up, we moved a lot. I went to 13 schools growing up, when I was in high school, or from kindergarten through high school. 13. I went to 13 schools. Think about that, okay? It is what it is, but that was why for like Heather, I really wanted stability for her. So she literally went, she did kindergarten in the city school district. And then we moved to Greece, and for the next 8 years, she went to Greece. And her last 4 years of school, she was out here where we're at now. And so, I wanted that stability for her. I didn't want to be jumping around like, we jumped around, because when you're always the new kid in school, that's hard. It's hard on kids. So, but, it's, again, so people that cast judgment on people that live in a certain area and say, well, why don't they just get out? They're not getting it. They don't understand. They really don't. So I think it's important to take that into consideration when you wonder why do they live on the coast? Why do they live knowing that hurricanes can happen? Well, did Mom help you stack the wood for beer points? Yes, Mom and Becky both actually helped stack the wood. I should re-say that. Mom and Becky stacked all the wood. I split it all. They stacked it all. When I did the first part of it and then I went for my ride, by the time I got back, they had all the first wood stacked. And then as I split the second amount of wood, they were stacking it as I did it. So, no, they get right in there. They're helping. So, but, and again, so somebody had made a comment about, like a wood splitter again. I have a wood splitter, okay? I like to split the wood by hand. In my wood shed, I have 28 face cord of wood. I will not use 28 face cord of wood. If I use 10 to 12 face cord of wood this winter, that will be a lot, okay? That's where I'm going to be at. Now, they got a bunch of wood over there now. The pile just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Dennis keeps bringing down more wood for them. So they got plenty of wood there. If they run out, they obviously will use what I have in my woodshed. But Dennis plans on continuing to bring wood down for them. So as they burn it, there's going to be more there for them. We're going to look at getting them a woodshed built in the spring because they're going to need their own woodshed over there as well. So, there's a lot. People, the funny thing is what people don't understand when you are doing this lifestyle, okay, and they're heating with wood. I'm heating with wood. That's our main heat source. There is no backup heat source other than wood. You have to be ready for that. It is a lot of work. But to me, it's very rewarding. I enjoy it. I love it. I love the wood heat. There's nothing like that wood heat. But a lot of people get into trying to go off grid and thinking it's just going to be just, oh, everything's going to be wonderful. There's setbacks. Things happen. You get delayed with things. So then you realistically, it is prioritizing. What is the most important thing? Like, they don't have running water over there yet, okay? That was not the priority right now. They can take showers at my place. They can get water at my place. So, even if they had to wait until the spring, they want to get their stuff set up. So we're hopefully going to get that, squared away for them. We'll have to see how things go. But again, if they have to wait to the spring, then they wait to the spring. It's really, you deal with it. I did not have running water here at my place for a year and a half. I humped water in. We took showers. I had the shower set up and stuff like that, and we would heat water up and we poured it over our heads and did what we had to do. You do what you have to do, but all good things come to those who wait. That's the way I look at it. So if you're willing to be patient and work on things, it comes together. It really, truly does. And it's amazing when you do it, so that's, and again, if you can do it, and this is the important thing to me, it's the important thing. Anything that I do here at the homestead, I do in cash because I don't want to put myself behind that 8-ball ever again. I've been there and it sucks. And you're scrambling and now you're a slave to the system and you got those credit cards with the ridiculous interest rates. I now have a Lowe's credit card, and I told that story, right? I want to buy my hot water on demand unit. I had the money with me. The lady said, well, if you put it on a credit card, and you'll get 5% off. If you apply for credit today and if you're approved, you'll get 5% off. So I did, and I was approved. So basically what it meant was I held on to my own money for another 30 days until the bill came in. When the bill came in, I went down to Lowe's and I paid the whole thing off. Simple as that. Okay. So if you use those credit cards in that aspect and use it that way, it works out really, really well. It really does. So, but again, everything is paid for. So I have not done something and put other than, okay, so my building, I bought my building on payments. All right. But again, it was 3 years, not 30 years. Okay. It's a big difference. Becky and Mom bought their building on payments. Again, 3 years, not 30 years. So within 3 years, now obviously they will have that completely paid off. Now they have no more mortgage payment, nothing. And as they go along, moving forward, they just have to work on the inside of their house and get things squared away. I mean, I'm obviously going to help them, but there's things that have to be done, and that's how it goes. But we'll work at it, and they can stay warm. They're going to be dry. They got a roof over their head. They got power with no electricity bill, which is, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. So, that's, it's a great, great feeling. Okay. I know I'm flapping away here. I'm going to ask real quickly again. We're at 878 in the chat. We're at 425 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you guys for another thumbs up really quickly to show support for the channel if you have not already done so. And thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we get, the better off it is for the channel. And they put us up higher in the rankings. And so thank you for that as well. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that's another reason why I like to see them. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So first of all, before we do the egg count, yesterday, 2 eggs. Day before, 5 eggs. Day before that, 2 eggs. So what is everybody's guess with what we ended up with today as far as the egg count goes? So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses up here. let you go for a minute. And it's funny because the first person that I saw put up their guess, which was a moderator, and he was 100% right. If you had the same guess as Prepper Chris 1 with 6 eggs, then you are correct. Yep, Prepper Chris won 6 eggs. That's what we ended up with today. I was like, especially after yesterday, only getting 2 yesterday, and then I got the 6 today. I was like, yes. But again, they're molting. So basically, somebody had asked me earlier, what is molting? Molting is they're regrowing feathers. It takes a lot of energy out of them to regrow their feathers. So that energy that they would be expanding or to lay eggs, they're now using that excess energy to grow new feathers, which takes a lot of energy for them. And so that's why they cut down on egg production. Again, the weather does have something to do with it too a lot. Like tonight, I went out to lock the chickens up. I usually go out about 7 o'clock this time of year. Early when we're a lot later with the sun, it's like 9 o'clock that I go out. They'll still be out there at 8:30. It was almost dark by 7 o'clock tonight, okay? Because obviously we're getting later in the year. Days are getting shorter. So they were all in. So I went out and locked them up tonight at 7. So, but it's just, so we're not getting the sunlight like we normally do either. So that definitely plays a factor in it as well. But like I said, I'm not going to do artificial light on them. If they lay, they lay. If they don't, they don't. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. So just got 5 Rhode Island Reds 8 months ago. Big brown eggs. Thank you for your chicken and great addition to the homestead. Yeah, Big Ben or Big B just said that. Awesome. Rhode Island Reds are a great chicken to have. They're a really good bird to have. And what I have to look at, I'm thinking about adding a bunch of new chickens next year. And then when they all start laying, maybe start dispatching some of my older girls. And because that's what you have to do, unfortunately. So it's the cycle. What's up with the Chinese troops in Canada? Okay, I've heard, so Dick Whiskey just said that. I heard that, okay? And somebody was saying there's 100,000 Chinese troops in Canada, Listen, I mean, let's be realistic. If there is, which I doubt that there's 100,000 Chinese troops in Canada. I doubt it highly. But there could be some troops up there doing training exercises or whatever the case may be. Absolutely there could be, okay? But let's say there was 100,000. And let's say they were right on our border. Do you think 100,000 Chinese troops are really, truly a threat to America? No. They would be obliterated. 100,000, we'd wipe them off in no time at all. No time at all. Because no matter what anybody thinks, how incompetent the government is or all that type of stuff, they're on top of stuff all the time. They're watching every threat all over the place all the time. So I'm not saying that there's not that many troops there. I don't think that there's 100,000 Chinese troops in Canada. I don't believe that that's true. Okay. But even if there were, they're not the threat. That's not a threat. So AR says, I have gypsy blood. Yeah, like I said, we all grown up, we moved all the time. I had never had a problem moving. I'm like, yeah, let's new adventure. Like my mom, 77 years old, right? Now they're up here full time. They just moved up here September 1st. She goes, to me, it's just another adventure. And I love that. I love that about my mom. My mom's always game. Let's go. Yeah. If I said, listen, we're selling a homestead. We're heading down into the mountains of South Carolina or Tennessee or wherever. She'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'm not selling. I'm not. I'm just saying. What I may do in the future, and I've talked about this a little bit, I'm never selling this homestead. I'm not going to sell this homestead. But what I may do in the future, I may pick up a second property down south. And when our wonderful winters hit here, I'll pack up and head down to a southern property for the winter. I think I might do that down the road. I got a lot more work to get done here first. A lot more work. Going to be a whole lot of stuff happening before I ever even contemplate doing that. But my father, every year when he was alive, he would go to Myrtle Beach every winter. Every winter. He'd be down there for like 3 or 4 months in the off season. He did it every year. Right on the beach, Walked the ocean every day. He loved it. So, that was, I was down there one time. He had to have open heart surgery. So we had to go down because we weren't sure if he was going to make it or not. So, but yeah, so Barred Rocks are a great chicken as well. Yep, my couple, the new ones that I got were all supposed to be Barred Rocks, except for the one ended up not being a Barred Rock. So, but anyway, but let's really quickly, let's go back really quickly to what we were talking about originally here, which was going on in Louisiana and stuff like that. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of things right now, so let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers, please. I would ask you, anybody that prays, to please pray for those people down there. They're hurting. They're hurting, and because it doesn't affect you directly, it's another human being. It's one of our fellow Americans. They're suffering, and they need our support any way that we can do that. And I think that that's important. And that doesn't mean I'm going to say donate to Red Cross and stuff, because all you're doing there is donating to help administration. So, not all your money. If all the money went to help the cause, I would donate in a heartbeat. But it never is. It never is. So but and the thing is, the people down there, you got to realize too, like with the heat and no power, I couldn't even imagine it. And then your home is destroyed and you're trying to rebuild, and then another hurricane comes in, 6 weeks later. That's insanity. It's insanity. It's unfortunate, but it really, really happened. It's obviously just did happen. Landfall 12 miles apart. That's just nuts. So, and like I said, then Lake Charles and then turned and went right to Lake Charles, which Lake Charles got hammered the first time. So, not a good thing. Oh, the humidity must be miserable, Jenny said. Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. The Chinese are buying tons of residential properties on the West Coast this year, so they will be our landlords and control us. Well, yeah, I hear you. They got the money to do it. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's like I said, I think it is so important to try to be as independent as you possibly can. Don't be their slave, whoever the masters are. If you can be as independent as you possibly can be, that is just, it is, I'm going to tell you, it is a great feeling. It's a great peace of mind. Hey, Asif, I will be looking for land to build my dream home within 1 to 2 years. I can look for an adjoining lot for you. Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be very cool. Got to be in the mountains, though, man. If you're going to do it, I know you're in South Carolina. Has to be in the mountains. I got to be in the mountains. I got to have my change of seasons, Asif. So, yeah, definitely, though. That would be very cool. That would be very, very cool. Let's see. Somebody was asking if I was in the Army. Yes, I was in the Army. 60,000 Chinese troops massed at the Indian border. Now in Indian news, big clash fixing to happen there. Thanks for that information, JJ. I know that they've had some issues. Here, and actually, I just heard this information today, and I heard it from Reese, so I'll give him credit for this one. The largest army in the world is obviously the Chinese. They got they got a lot more people. The second largest army in the world is India. I did not know that. I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, India has the second largest army in the world. And I know that India and China have been dealing with a lot of stuff. Somebody just said, Ed, you'd love it here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, Jen, I've been through different parts of Pennsylvania, and I do. I love it down there. Some beautiful, beautiful areas down there. A good friend of mine, she lives down in Pennsylvania. And I won't say the town. I was just about to say the town, but I'm not going to say the town. But beautiful area, just absolutely gorgeous, up in the mountains again. I'm going to tell you what. I love nature. I love the hills. I love my mountains. I know it gets colder up here. Turkey's army is huge. Yeah, but like I said, the Chinese have the largest army, and then India has the second largest army. So I thought that was really interesting. But our army's no joke. We got, we may not have the largest per man army, but we have a lot of technology that a lot of these other countries don't have, and are always putting more money into the military, which is important because you use that as a deterrent. You know, and again, I have my reservations with China. I'm not going to lie. I think there's something that we need to be concerned about. But, you know, again, a strong army makes a big difference, or strong military, I'm sorry, because it's not just the army, but a strong military, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, Coast Guard, all very, very important, very, very important. And, you know, they are a deterrent, and that's what they're there for. They are a deterrent. So, and also what is a wonderful deterrent is that so many Americans have weapons where a lot of these other countries do not. The UK would be a good example. They have cut your guys' cajones off, and you're not allowed to have certain stuff. No, and some of you will say, "Oh, yes, we're allowed to have stuff." Well, yeah, if you have it all registered and you keep it at a certain place, and you keep your ammo locked here and your gun locked here, and or maybe you have to keep it at the police station. And then if you can only use it for, you know, hunting or target practicing, that is, they control every aspect of what you're doing in that situation. That's not the way it should be. People are not going to invade the United States because so many citizens would stand up and go, "Not today." Okay, so that's one of the reasons why you have not seen the United States invaded up to this point, and I don't think you will. So. Oh, the agenda. There's an agenda. They want us disarmed. They absolutely do, because if we're disarmed, then we won't fight back. We won't stand up and say no more of this nonsense. And I can't believe that the people in this country at this point, if our forefathers were alive today, they would be like, "What are you freaking people doing? What are you waiting for?" That's what they would be saying right now. You know, unbelievable. Ed, Prepper Trucking is trying to get a hold of you on a cyber attack info. All right, well, shoot me another email, man. I may have missed it. You know, I've been extremely busy. I don't spend, okay, so what I do, I'll tell you how my days go. Doing things, working on things. I'll do a video. I pop up the laptop. I get the video up. A lot of times I'll do a video earlier. Like I did my video today, probably about 12:30. Did my video, uploaded it, set it to go live at 3 o'clock. Set up for my live stream, right? Then I turned the laptop back off and went back to doing other things. I don't sit on my laptop all day. I don't have time to sit on my laptop all day. So a lot of times at night, like now, like when I get off the stream tonight, I may chill out online. I got to get into my emails. Like we did the live stream, the people that won from Friday. I still haven't even looked at your information yet. And it's not me being lazy. It's just that I'm busy. So, you know, that's unfortunately how it goes. But I will have some time tonight. I will get things going. And, you know, the people that won, you know, the Gators, they will be, you know, they'll be getting the information and you'll be getting your Gators. So just letting you know. What about direct energy weapons? I believe they do have those. I absolutely do believe they have them. And I believe that they're using them. It may not just be us that has them. Wouldn't surprise me if China or other countries as well have them as well. Wouldn't surprise me at all. You know, so you need an assistant, Ed. Yeah, I know. Well, see, me and Becca were talking about that, and you know, right now I think I just told you earlier in the stream, I just added Reese. I don't want to say to my staff because it sounds like, you know, but he's joined the team. And so he is helping out, doing a lot of stuff with things that I realistically don't have a tremendous amount of time for. So I appreciate him stepping up and wanting to do that. That's awesome. In the future, you never know, Becca may be joining the team as well. And we'll see how that goes. But, you know, there's plenty to do. There's plenty to do. And I'm just trying to, you know, like I said, I'm on that clock right now, watching the weather. So far, we're good to go. You know, even when we do have our first frost, we're still going to have time. But, you know, time is running out for this year to get things done. And so there's some things that have to get done. And, you know, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm trying to get as much done outside as I can. Like I said, today I just When you live and everything is cluttered and unorganized, it drives me crazy. I'm very anal retentive with stuff like that, really anal retentive. And periodically I have to just go, I got to go through this. And so that was today. Today was like, I'm organizing this part. I'm getting this squared away. And that's what I was working on today. I got a lot more of that to do in this house, and I will. When I get the addition on next year, it's going to make a huge, huge difference for us here at the homestead. I'm going to actually, I'll show you when I'm going to have at least one room. One room is going to be dedicated to nothing but preps. Where Heather's room is now is going to be a walkway through as well. The excess room through there is going to be for preps. That's what we're going to do. So I'll have at least 2 different places where I can load up on preps and put them in a very controlled environment. And I'm kind of excited about that, to be honest with you, because I don't like here, there, the other place. I'd like to get the weight off of these lofts. I don't like, there's a lot of weight. Like above me, there's a ton of weight. And now with adding more stuff above Heather's room, there's a lot of weight up there now too. And I'll probably still add a few more things up there because I have the room to do it. So I probably will. But again, it's just, that's the way it goes. So, but let's see. But anyway, really quickly, I want to talk about Marfugal News, Adam, and Dex. Those guys are awesome. Please go show your support for their channel. They're out on the West Coast. Just had another baby. And so got, I think he has 2 children now. So he's got his hands full, and they're both young. Good guy, good channel. Definitely want to support him. So if you go over to Marfugal News and, tell him PrepperNurse 1 sent you over. Like I said, love his channel. There's a lot of other channels that I like too, and I'm not going to go over everything right now. But there's definitely channels out there that I like. And I think, he has 4 children? Oh, my God. I didn't know he had 4. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. He's a busy man. His wife must be exhausted. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. 4. Wow. 3 girls and just had a boy. Wow. Okay. Good for him, man. Like I said, they're good people. I like them both. Definitely go show them support and, tell them the PrepperNurse 1 sent you over. Adam gave you a shout out in his last live stream. Tony just said, oh, that's cool. Now, like I said, I haven't talked to Adam in a while. I know he's busy. Obviously, when you got 2 of them are young. I know 2 of the babies are young. So I didn't realize he had 4 kids. Wow. That's Adam, you don't have to have so many children. You can stop now. You got your son. You can stop now. I'm teasing. But hey, good for him. I'll tell you what, when we had the twins and Josh was 6 years old, when we had the twins, we were like, done. 3, good, no more. It is expensive raising children. Very expensive raising children. So especially when you're getting no help from the government. I didn't get no help from the government. So, raise it, we were like, that was it. We were done. And but hey, Roy Stone Rook, what's your solar recommendation with the disaster? If you live down in that area, what I would suggest, a solar rack is great to have. Now, down there, you better make sure that thing is locked in the ground and not going to go anywhere. But if they pretty much know when a hurricane is coming, be able to take those solar panels down and put them away where they would be safe so they're not going to get damaged. Because if you're talking 100, 120 mile an hour winds, it could tear a solar rack up, okay? But if you're able to take those down and you got the framework and the poles, that stuff can all be replaced pretty easily. So, Ed, why would 7 of 9 joint chiefs be at NORAD? Is that a sign we need to pay attention to? Full of Hope just said that. Yeah, that's something we need to pay attention to. There is always something going on. They're always monitoring different things. there is always something happening that we will never know about. Threats are dealt with every day that we'll have no idea. That's why different people in the government do the different things that they need to do, so you don't have to think about it. So that's I have flexible panels up and down in 10 minutes. There you go. That's the way to do it. Absolutely the way to do it. So, but yeah, you just again, depending on whatever you're doing depends on where you live. Different parts of the country, if you know that you're in an area that is susceptible to hurricanes, like if you're in a tornado alley, I mean, those things pop up in a heartbeat, and there's really not a whole lot you can do about that. But then with those, you would want to go with a ground mount. So you would want them more close to the ground. You don't, like my rack is up, okay? You wouldn't want to have my type of rack down in tornado alley, because that'd get tore up. If the tornadoes come through it, that would get torn up. But if you have the ground mounts there, where they're closer to the ground, it's going to be more protected. So again, you just have to really figure out where you're at, what's going to work best for where you're at. And again, that's how you have to plan. Like, I don't plan for hurricanes. The hurricanes, by the time they get as far inland as I am, they're not nothing but a big storm. That's all they are. I mean, I've dealt with 60, 70, 75 mile an hour winds up here, heavy rain, a little bit of sleet and stuff like that, and hail, but nothing major. No, I just got Bella on the bed tonight, and she is out like a light, so I'm not going to grab her tonight. So I'm sorry, no cat sightings this evening. If somebody else was on here, that's why you haven't seen any cat quakes tonight, because she is knocked out. She is sleeping. Lucy, okay, so Lucy in the box. It was Lucy, not Buddy. Everybody, when I did my video earlier today, was like, who's in the box? It was Lucy's in the box. It's one of the hits, like that's his spot. He likes that spot. So I actually have some prep items in that box, and I just left that box there because that's where he likes to sleep. So I cater to my animals. I be honest with you. Turn the camera on for her? No, because if I turn his camera, I don't want everything to get messed up. So I'm not. No, so sorry. Dixie Alley is now hot in meteorology. There you go. Yep. We have something called mountain waves from the upper air coming down the holler. Oh, yeah. It funnels down. Yeah. And you get some good winds that way. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, no. Yeah. Cats love boxes. If you take, so anybody that has a cat, I have a little game I want you to play. If you have a cat, take any kind of tape, colored tape, like, obviously not, adhesive clear tape, but other tape, make a box on the floor, make a square on the floor, and that cat will go and it'll sleep in that square because it looks like a box. I don't know why they do it. That's what they do. They love the boxes. So a lot of times I'll leave boxes out so they can sleep in the boxes, Dixie Alley is now the new Tornado Alley. Yeah, it's weird how everything's has changed up like that. It is definitely weird. Oh, yeah, Prepper Truckin' just said, seriously, get food and seeds now before the election. All right, so that's a good segue to go right into that. Very, very important. Again, with this election, no matter which way it goes, I think it's going to be very interesting after the election. I mean, and not in an interesting, good way. Regardless of who wins, I think it's going to be interesting in a very bad way after the election. So, again, now is the time to get as ready as you possibly can. Get your preps, get your canned goods, get your freeze-dried foods, get your powdered milk, all that type of stuff. Just continue to get as ready as you possibly can. Do anything that you can. Food is always going to be a big, important part of it. If you have a house and you've got shelter and stuff like that, that's all great. You got to better have a way to protect what you have. Like somebody said today, when I did a video earlier and I showed what I was doing in the loft, and that loft is literally all food. It's all food up there. And they were like, I'll be careful showing your preps. Bad people will come and try to take what you have. Yeah. The optimum thing that they said, will try. They will try. They can try. They sure can. That's even if they can get here. Okay? So, and I'll just leave that at that. That part, I'm going to tell you what, I am not worried about that at all. I have enough people. There's enough people around me that I know. I think we're going to be okay. Now, I'm not concerned about that. I'll be honest with you. The reality is SHTF hits tomorrow, and let's say it's a grid down situation. Let's just go with that scenario. It's going to be very tumultuous wherever you are. Hey, Jeff's Cooking Adventure, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Wherever people are, it's going to be hard enough dealing with the situation where you're at. To think about jumping in a car and go, okay, we're going to go here and we're going to take this guy's stuff. As soon as the lights go out, guys, everybody and their brothers that knows what's coming or knows what's going on, they're walking around armed from that point on. So if you think you're just going to roll up on somebody and take what they have, I've said this before and I will say this again. The last place that you are going to want to go and try to take somebody's stuff is at a prepper's retreat. Mark my words when I say that. Unless you have a death wish. If you have a death wish, bring it on. Bring it on. Go see Southern Prepper 1. Go try and take his stuff. See how that works out for you. Okay? Anybody that preps, that truly preps, that is a prepper, that knows what's going on, they are ready for whatever contingencies are out there. Okay? Unless you're coming in here with a tank. Unless you're coming with a tank, that would be a different situation. But, yeah, Then other than that, I think you're going to be in for a hard time trying to take something from a prepper. Somebody said it was Dex is in Georgia. Yep, Dex is in Georgia, and Adam is in Seattle. Let's see. Americans are the last holdout. Yeah, pretty much. A lot of the rest of the world, you guys have been castrated, realistically. You look what Trudeau's doing up in Canada. I feel sorry for you guys up there. I really, truly do. Look at what's going on in New Zealand, Australia, the UK, different parts of Europe. And it amazes me how the mindset of a lot of those people are like, it's okay that we don't have guns. But you're completely under their control. They're going to do whatever they're going to do, and there's not a freaking thing that you can do about it. Nothing. At least here in the United States, if enough people got pissed off, believe me, they would be very concerned. Very, very concerned. So anyway, let's do this at this point right now because it's already, it's 6 after right now. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up really quickly. We're at 703 in the chat, and we're at 569 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. Again, it really does help with algorithms, puts us up higher rankings. The more interaction, it's better for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, I'd like to see a nice number of thumbs up. So thank you for that reason as well. So thank you very much for doing that. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that. So we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge family. We're a huge network of like-minded people. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Melbourne, Australia. We already did the eggs, Kelly. It was 6 eggs today. Denver, Colorado. Upstate South Carolina, Ulster Park, New York. Let's see, BC, Canada. Linden, Texas. Akron, Ohio. Southern Maryland. Let's see, we have Southwest Florida. Troy, Vermont. Equist, Massachusetts. The Bayou in Louisiana, very nice. Georgia, very nice. Let's see, Tennessee, Phoenix, Arizona, East Central Ohio, I believe is what it said. Toronto, Canada, very nice. Connecticut, Indiana, Central Florida. Gatlin, Pennsylvania. We have Georgia again, Tennessee, Central Florida. another Pennsylvania, Alabama, Western New York, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Idaho, Georgia, Middletown, Pennsylvania, Cape Cod, Holly, New York. You're very close to me. Sweet, Virginia, Beaverbrook, Nebraska, Anderson, South Carolina, Illinois, Raleigh, North Carolina, Chesapeake, Virginia, McCleary, Washington, very nice, Pensacola in Florida, Montana, Dalton, Florida. We have Germantown, Maryland, Nebraska, Southern California, Dixieland, very nice, New York State, Madison, Minnesota, Franklin County, Ohio, Beech Grove, Indiana, let's see, Mesa, Arizona, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, very nice, been up in that area. Let's see, Kentucky, Reno, Nevada, Southeast Missouri, Northeast New Jersey, Anderson, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, Great Smoky Mountains, Michigan, Toppenish, Washington, very nice. We got Hawaii, Sicily Island, Louisiana, very nice. New Hampshire, British Columbia, Canada, New Brunswick, Canada, very nice. San Antonio, Texas, very nice. Herkimer, New York, Connecticut once again. So again, guys, we're all over the United States, all over this country. We're a huge network of people. And again, if we get organized and get squared away, there will be no stopping us. I see Brazil just popped up on here. Very cool. So, Minnesota. But, yeah, we're northeastern Pennsylvania. Very nice. But, yeah, we're a huge family. We really, truly are. And that's the cool thing. Being awake and being aware, it connects us. It really, really, truly does. It's a brother and sisterhood that a lot of people will not understand. They will never understand, But, and it's funny, like, my mom and my sister are not preppers. They're not, okay? They know that I am. But they realized that this way of life, reducing your debt, living in an apartment and paying rent forever and ever and ever. I remember, okay, I'm going to go real quick story time. Remember when I was in my 20s and I was living on Park Avenue in Rochester, New York. Now, anybody that knows of Rochester, New York, knows Park Avenue is a very artsy-fartsy part of the city, okay? It's just where I happened to get my apartment, and I liked the area. It was really cool. It was really trendy, a lot of bars and stuff going on at that time. Again, I was in my early 20s. Apartment for 30 years and didn't own anything. They didn't even own it. I couldn't even imagine that, thinking of that how that would be a smart way to go, it's unbelievable. No, I'm actually still here, guys. Anybody that's having issues, I am still here. Artsy fartsy, that's me on Discord. Oh, that's funny. Gene Blair just said that. Ed is having ammunition collection event as hazardous waste. Unbelievable. Yard Prepper just said that. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, no, I never was gone. You guys maybe some of you saw some buffering, but I didn't. But I was talking about the fact that living in an apartment, this couple had lived there for over 30 years in the same apartment. And I was like, no freaking way. You never own anything. Nothing is ever yours. If you can get yourself a small piece of property, get yourself something on there and live as free as you possibly can, it is the best way to live. It really is. You don't want to go with a 30-year mortgage. 30-year mortgage, it's for suckers, realistically, because most people realize, and this is the first 5 years, if you got a 30-year mortgage, you're basically paying nothing but interest. That's what you're paying the majority of in that first 5 years you own that property. Most people will move within inside of 8 years. So at first 5 years on a 30-year mortgage, you're paying nothing but interest, basically, okay? And then after that, so you may have a little bit of equity in that home by the time you sell it 8 years down the road. That's insane. That is insane to me, okay? And I've had it. I had a 30-year mortgage on my house that I had in Greece. And, like I said, I made a tough decision at the time, and I walked away. Best decision I ever made as far as I'm concerned. Absolute best decision I ever made. It was sucking me dry financially. It was ridiculous. And I'll tell you, my mortgage payment was $1,225 a month. $1,225 a month is what my mortgage payment was. I was paying $148 per month in principal. Principal. The rest was taxes and interest. Think about that. So over $1,000 a month was going out for taxes and interest. Now, any one of you out there, would you like to have an extra $1,000 a month in your pocket to spend the way you want to spend it? And that's, I got to that point. I'm like, this is insane. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I made a change. Now, I'm going to 100% again, this lifestyle is not for everyone. It can be very, very difficult, and it takes time. What we've done here did not happen overnight. Anybody that's been watching the channel, if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to go back, watch the early stuff. That you can even go back and watch when I was in my basement of my old house. I got the videos on there from that. We've been up here. June started my 6th year full-time living at the homestead. It has been a roller coaster ride here. To finding out the day before we moved here full-time that I had cancer and having to deal with that, so like the next day I was moving all my stuff here, and I had people calling me and like, oh my God, man, how you doing? And I was like, I'm fine. I'm not thinking about it. I got to move today. So, and then we had to deal with that. And thankfully I'm cancer-free now. More than 5 years, which I'm very, very grateful for as well. Great surgeons. They took care of me. They took care of what, they got it out of me. It's affected me. I will never be the same like I was before, unfortunately. But I'm pretty good. I mean, I feel pretty healthy. So I'm very, very lucky. I have my days. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely have my days, but that's part of life. Unfortunately, I think everybody does. You live long enough and you deal with stuff. It's how it goes. But, then everything else that we've done here it's not been easy. Nothing was like, oh, this is just great and easy breezy, great. No running water for 1.5 years. Fighting with the solar, trying to figure stuff out, what works, what doesn't work. Going from every night until this year, when I went to bed, I would turn off my power, completely turn my power off to save my batteries. So I saved my batteries. I babied my batteries. I didn't have enough juice coming in. I didn't have enough batteries coming in to run 24 hours a day. Okay. We upgraded again this year. Now we run the powers on 24 hours a day. Great feeling. Okay. But it takes time. Anything worthwhile takes time. Time and effort and money. Money always helps too. But, if you work at it, determined, absolutely doable. And you got to remember, I didn't start doing this until I was 50 years old. So think about that. A lot of people wouldn't even think about it, but we got started when I was 50. So it was my dream. And, you give me another 5 years and see what this place looks like in another 5 years. It's going to be a little paradise is what it's going to be. So that's, and I'm just going to continue on. That's the goal, and make it better. And I'd like to get into teaching people how to do stuff. That's what I'd like to do. So anyway, this time has gone by very, very fast. Again, real quickly to my moderators, I need your guys' address. Please send them to PrepperNurse1media@gmail.com so we can get those gators out for you. Judith very kindly has said that she will donate a gator to each one of my moderators. So thank you for that, Judith. I appreciate that. So guys, send that information and we'll get you those gators out. Okay. So great chat tonight, guys. I really enjoyed it. Thank you to my moderators. Again, you guys just do an awesome job. You go above and beyond constantly. And I appreciate that. I really, truly do. Also remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is so important. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. We're one big family. We're one big race called the human race. We need to focus on that. That's what the focus needs to be on. Working for each other, helping each other, lifting each other up. I think that's so important. Okay. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. All right. Stay positive. And you're going to be fine. All right. Remember STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time and one day at a time. It's the greatest mantra because everybody will never forget those three initials. Everybody has what they think they know what they mean. Step, thing, and day is what they mean. And it works. If you live by that mantra, you can accomplish anything. All right? Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great night. PrepperNurse 1, out for now.